Let me scroll to that matter. That's Leonard P. Volnikov.
Yes, hello, Judge.
All right. And I'm going to have the officer testify first, present the officer's case. There may be exhibits also that will be a part of that. When the officers concluded their testimony, you may ask questions of the officer based on their testimony if you choose to. You're not required to. At that point, if the state is rested, then I'll give you an opportunity to provide testimony and evidence on your behalf. The officer may also question you. At that point, we will come back to the officer if there's any rebuttal. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, so officer, I will swear you in. Where are you on the screen? Officer Savage? Officer
Savage?
Yes, if you could provide video as well.
Officer Savage, can you hear Judge Peterson, please?
Hey, they're calling you for your trial.
Officer Savage?
She's
Thank you.
All right, Officer Savage, I just explained to the defendant the order of the trial, which will start with your testimony. If you're ready to proceed, I'll swear you in.
All right, let's go.
Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury any testimony you provide in today's trial be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And state your full name and position, please.
I'm Officer Tavia Savage, and I'm currently employed as a parking code enforcement officer with Portland's Bureau of Transportation.
All right, and you may proceed with the state's case.
Okay, let's see. All right, while on routine swing patrol on August 12th at approximately 6:58 p.m., I observed a Toyota with Washington plate BEV1361 parked in a manner in which it was preventing free passage on, let's see, Hoyt Street between 13th and 14th, which is on public property in the city of Portland, County of Multnomah, State of Oregon. At this time, I issued citation number HA 372-90108 for preventing free passage under City Ordinance 16.20.120E. Do I have sharing capabilities?
You should have our.
It looks like I don't. Can you help me with that, Madam Clerk?
Judge Peterson, if you like, I can share. You would like me to share the photos, officer? You did. Is this what you want to show?
Or you can give me presenter capabilities and I can show them, whichever is easier.
Just a second. Let me try for me to share first, and if it doesn't work, then I'll give you just a second, please.
Okay.
So, judge and the officer and the defendant, do you see the picture?
No.
Right there.
Leonid Krivolenkov, do you see the picture?
I see the picture, yes. Can you hear me?
So, Officer Savage, you are the only one who doesn't see. Judge Peterson, do you see the picture?
I do.
So, Officer Savage, something is in your part that you don't see it.
Okay.
So you should, maybe your colleague should help you, so you can see the picture.
Let me see if I log back in the trial, if that'll help.
This happened before. Remember, you asked me to join in the room, yeah? So
Yeah.
so.
Pardon?
Officer, can you see the photo at this point?
Okay, I tried logging in again, and no, I do not. No, I do not. Can you give me sharing capability so I can present the photos then? Or I guess if they're
Just a,
online, they
just a
should
second.
the same-
Just a
they-
second. Let me see if I can. Just a second. 1 minute. Okay. So, officer, now you're a presenter. So let's try.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, can you please? Ah,
Can you
okay.
see my screen?
Yes, I see it.
Okay. So my first photo, Exhibit A, is of the vehicle's license plate. My second photo, Exhibit B, you'll see the front windshield showing that the vehicle doesn't have any permissions to park in this mannerism. You'll also slightly see the line right where the mirror is actually a crosswalk line behind the vehicle. Here we have the vehicle in the middle of the intersection here. So there's a crosswalk in front of the vehicle as well as a crosswalk behind the vehicle. The vehicle parked in this mannerism is preventing free passage and safety of passenger or of pedestrians walking across the street. So that's why the vehicle was cited for preventing free passage. And that's the end of my photos.
Any further testimony or evidence?
I did want to show a better photo of the location. It's on Northwest Hoyt between 13th and 14th. Here, in front of the Star, or on the side of the Star restaurant here, is where the person was parking. So you can have a better view of the crosswalk I was referring to and the one behind. The person was parked in between the street here.
Are you intending to show a different photo?
Oh, are you not seeing it? Let me see.
I'm
No.
seeing the last of the three that you did.
Let me see. Can you see the street view now of
Yes.
Hoyt and 13th? Okay. All right. So the vehicle was parked here on Hoyt between 13th and 14th near the Star restaurant. So here is where you'll see that there's a crosswalk here and behind where the vehicle was parked. They were in the middle of this intersection here. Just to give a better visual of the area.
And anything further?
That is all.
All right. From the defendant, do you have any, Mr. Smolikoff, do you have any questions of the officer based on her testimony?
Yes, I most definitely do, Judge. And forgive my low voice. I've got a little throat ache there. I'm gonna go through some of the serious questions, not specifically in the order that officer testified. You were employed with PBOT, is that correct?
I am.
Okay, and you were employed on 8/12/24?
As a parking code enforcement officer, yes.
Yeah. And what hours were you employed on 8/12/24?
My specific schedule, I don't believe, relates to the violation, so I'm not going to be sharing that with you.
Uh, Officer,
Okay.
I asked you a question and I'm
But it's
asking
not
the
in
same.
relation to the
Sir,
violation.
I take that as an objection as to relevance. The citation was August 12th, and so unless you can connect up some relevance to a December date, I'm going to sustain the objection.
I'm not sure, Judge. Did you raise the objection or did the officer raise the objection? I'm confused.
The officer said she didn't wish to answer. I took that as an objection based on the rationale that it was not relevant.
Well, it's relevant to the fact that I'm establishing her employment on a specific date during specific hours. So if
Well,
her employment was in fact with Peabody on the date of 12th, I'm simply asking, trying to establish the relevant time, specific relevant time between.
Sir, are you asking for the time that the officer was employed on August 12th, 2024?
That's correct. That was my
All right, in
question.
that case, I believe that the question is relevant. I heard a December date. Officer, if you can tell, if you respond to what your hours were, if you know them.
My hours are between 1:15 and 11:45 p.m.
Is that the hours you were employed on August 12th, 2024?
Yes.
My question would be relevant to the same question as a follow-up. Peabody is closing at 5 p.m. Is it your testimony that you are allowed to work past 5 p.m.?
Yes, I work past 5 p.m. Peabody does not close at 5 p.m.
Can you elaborate on that? Peabody is
I'm a
not closing
parking
at.
code enforcement officer, which means that I enforce parking violations. Those violations take place between 6 a.m. and 11:45 p.m. Those are
But the
parking
agent,
violation hours.
but the agency itself, the actual Portland Parking Enforcement Agency or public body is closing at 5 p.m. Are you saying that you can continue to work past those hours?
Sir,
Yes.
I'm going to say asked and answered. You asked that question, she answered it. Her hours are beyond the normal business hours of the agency that employs her.
Okay, no
Move on.
problem, Judge. I have the right to ask my questions too, Your Honor.
Well, we
Correct?
also have the right to ask only relevant questions.
Sure. And that
And only once.
was relevant to her employment. Second of all, your sole accusation of my parking violation was the fact, and as you testified, that was my vehicle parked allegedly blocking the crosswalk. Is that correct?
Negative. I said that your vehicle is preventing free passage.
What do you actually mean by free passage? What passage of what specific was it? Passage of pedestrians, passage of traffic? Because you were referring to and you were testifying to the fact that the vehicle was blocking, and you were specifically referencing crosswalks.
So your vehicle was preventing the free passage and the safety of pedestrians walking between the crosswalks. Where your vehicle was located obstructs their view of oncoming cars.
Okay, so just to clarify, my vehicle, as per your testimony, was blocking the free passage of pedestrians, allegedly.
Your vehicle was blocking the view so that people could safely pass by. Yes.
Okay, so again, I'm not sure if I'm following. Is it the view or the free passage?
You are preventing free passage by blocking the view of pedestrians walking through the crosswalk.
Excellent. And that is the sole charge that you are alleging or levying against me. Is that correct? Is that
The
your testimony?
violation that's been issued to you is for preventing free passage.
But specific act, just hear my question out. The specific act what you're alleging was that my vehicle alleging was blocking the free passage of pedestrians in the crosswalk.
I allege that your vehicle was obstructing the view of passage of pedestrians walking by in the crosswalk.
And the charge is under statute or city code 16.20.10 under section E or paragraph E. Is that correct? Is that your
Yes.
testimony?
Yes.
Okay. Can we read together section E of that specific code? So as to prevent free passage of other vehicles, including rail vehicles and bicycles on any street, alley, or city of Portland, owned or operated property. Do you agree with that paragraph?
I do not have the Title 16 in front of me to know if that's specifically what it states, but I can pull it up.
Can you please do?
Yeah.
Well, she's doing that. For those of you who have joined us for 3:30 trials, we're just concluding the docket beforehand. We'll be with you shortly. And we have one matter set for declaration, and I would hope that the officer in that case has had a chance to read the declaration. We'll take that case up immediately with this one.
Okay, yes, I can agree that that's what section E says under preventing free passage under 1620, 120, prohibited parking or stopping of a vehicle, section E. That is what it says.
Can you read me any section, any paragraph, any wording relating to obstructing, allegedly blocking a view of pedestrians, specifically in the crosswalk?
So 1620.120 actually has, let's see, statutes that lead down to M, so A through M. So you're reading just E, but also presented in the statute says that if you're outside of or across an official line or mark designating a parking space or between such lines in a maneuvering area. So that is also part of Title 16 under the same statute. I'm not sure if you can see this there. And as I presented in my exhibits, you are in between, or the vehicle was in between two crosswalks, preventing free passage.
Would agree that you did not charge me under any other section of that statute, or you're referencing to M, you've only charged me under the section E. Is that correct?
Technically, yes. Technically, yes. The citation for free passage does list only section E, but it does cover the entire statute of preventing free passage.
Let me just clarify one more time.
Sir,
You
I
did
think
not.
you've made your, sir, I think you've made your point. You really have. Do you have anything further that you'd like to ask the officer?
I would respectively right now move judge to dismiss this case because the charge under which I was charged does not imply under the circumstances, and the officer cannot prove the violations beyond a reasonable doubt or the actions of the parked vehicle in accordance with the charge. Therefore, I would respectfully move the court to dismiss this charge entirely.
Well, the standard for these cases is preponderance. Officer, would you like to respond to the motion to dismiss?
I believe that I did present enough evidence to show that you were preventing free passage.
Well, I would agree that the car was parked unlawfully, perhaps dangerously, but the citation has to mean something, and it refers specifically to 1620.120E, and the evidence did not support the citation with regard to, it talks about vehicular obstructions, and looks to me like you might have done that too, but the evidence was that it made it dangerous for pedestrians in either crosswalk because of the obstruction. And therefore, I'm going to grant the motion to dismiss.
Thank you, Your Honor.